Forecast. I'm Jousset, the host of the UFC Forecast, and I'm back for the early predictions and betting breakdown for UFC 293. And I suggest you to spark one, pour one, and get ready to make some money here. Because last week, I'm going to pull up my picks. I went 10-1, and the one fight we lost on was a robbery. Jocelyn Edwards, looking at the scorecard here, I'll pull that one up. Not the scorecard, but the ESPN stats here. She definitely won that fight, in my opinion. 5 out of 8 takedowns, 8 minutes control time. Strikes were pretty close. Obviously, the France fighter, she had a couple biased judges on her side. She got done 30-27, 30-27, 29-28, unanimous decision. I thought it should have been 29-28 in the least, split decision for Jocelyn Edwards. And I was fucking shocked by that scorecard. And right away, I knew it was going to be France fighters for the rest of the night. And luckily, I was locked in on them. One of my locks of the week, my only lock of the week, Benoit Saint-Denis, got the job done. And I don't have to do a pants beer. I said I was going to do it. I was 100% certain he was going to get that done. And he got her done for me. And now I'm looking to go 3 in a row on locks of the week. Before that, I had Anthony Smith. And this week, I might take an underdog because I see a couple underdogs I do like at UFC 293. So you never know. I could lock in an underdog here. So stay tuned for my full card predictions here because I'm going to go through every single fight. And I'm not going to talk too much about last week. We absolutely crushed it. If you listen to my predictions, I was 100% on pretty well every fight. And all my Patreon members got paid, that's for sure. I'm going to pull up my platinum picks. And looking at the platinum picks, I did very good. I had Cyril Gane KO, Ferro decision, Ozdemir KO, but I also had it in round 1, and that was my value prop. I went 2 for 2 on value props. The other value prop was Saint-Denis KO. That was high confidence. I had a lot of high confidence picks at UFC Paris, and they all cashed in for me. Patreon members got paid. And now I'll pull up the forecast forensic, which is also for the Patreon members. That was absolutely money. Farid Bastrat was on there for submission, $4. Jacqueline Cavalcanti decision was on there, high confidence. Jocelyn Edwards should have won that by a decision. And then Lapalus got that one done. Angelusa got that done. Cherrier got it done. I mean, everywhere as you look, we got her done at UFC Paris, and we're going to look to do it again. So jump on board. It's only $5 a month. Exclusive early access to all my bets. You get this forecast forensic sheet, and then you get that platinum pick sheet as well. So those are 2 cheat sheets, which made the Patreon members a lot of money. And looking at my bet, it was the Platinum Hammer. That was my most confident bet of the night. Angelusa, Farid Bastrat, Benoit Saint-Denis, Cyril Gane KO. $1,000 hit for us. And yeah, I wasn't the only one to cash in. I'm telling you, all the forecasters cashed in at UFC Paris, thanks to me. And hopefully I do it again. But I'm going to tell you straight up, these Australian fighters, some of them I don't think are going to win. So we got to be pretty careful. And a lot of these lines are priced super wide. So let's get serious here. Let's start it off with the early prelim opener between Kevin Jousset and Kiefer Crosbie. And Kiefer Crosbie's coming in here at plus money. Kevin Jousset has only fought Australian and New Zealand competition so far, while Kiefer Crosbie has fought 7 fights inside Bellator. He's super tough, durable, and he has a lot of power as well. His last 2 fights, round 1 KO, and he just knocked out Cowboy Alex Oliveira. I mean, that was a big win in round 1, knocked his lights out. Just picked him apart on the feet, and this guy is originally a boxer. So Kiefer Crosbie on the feet, he's powerful, he's quick, and I think he's going to be able to close that distance. Kevin Jousset, man, he has that 5-inch reach advantage. He's super tall for this division. He's a weight bully, and his competition level's low. He beat a guy that was 0-2, and then he has 4 decision wins as well. And like I said, all Australian or New Zealand competition. He has a knockout loss to Jack Della Maddalena in the second round. He showed some durability and toughness there, but I just see Kiefer Crosbie's experience coming into factor here, and he's going to win this fight by a decision, possible knockout as well. Kevin Jousset is super hittable, just holds his chin up, and fighting the Australian competition. Now he's taking a step up in competition to a guy from Ireland that's 10-3, and there's a reason why this fight wasn't last week at UFC Paris. Kevin Jousset is from France, and I just think he's going to get smoked in this fight, honestly. Kiefer Crosbie's going to show his power, and I like that plus money. And don't forget to jump in Discord, because once I have my underdog of the week locked in and have the lock of the week locked in, it's going in Discord right away for the forecasters. And it's definitely worth being in Discord, because once I hit 500 subscribers, we're getting super close. I'm giving away $500 And let's keep it going with the prelims. Next up, we got a huge underdog here. Landon Quiñones just fought on the Ultimate Fighter against Jason Knight. Lost in the very first round by submission. And now he's getting a chance at the UFC. First guy out of the Ultimate Fighter. Not quite sure why. And he has a tough test. Nasrat Haqparast. And Nasrat, man, like, lost to Bobby Green and Dan Hooker by decision. And then he got knocked out to Drew Dober. Other than that, he has a phenomenal striking defense and takedown defense. He should outstrike and outpoint Landon Quiñones in this fight, who's still green in his MMA career. I know he's looked good, but he's fought low-level competition. 5-4 went the distance with him, and his only submission was over 0-1 opponent, so he's absolutely no threat on the ground here. He's a striker, that's for sure, and I don't see him outstriking or even landing a knockout shot on Haqparast. Haqparast has a good decision win over John Makdessi, Rafa Garcia, Mark Diakise, all unanimous decisions. Like, he's just easily winning these fights by a decision. He's a decision dominator. Nasrat also has 9 knockouts, 6 of those in the first round, but his latest knockout was to Joaquim Silva in the second round, who got knocked out to Arman Tsarukyan in the third round, so that's not a bad knockout win to have at all. Nasrat's definitely the play here. The odds are telling me that. And there's not too much more to add than that. This is a very tough debut fight for Landon Quiñones. I don't expect him to get it done here, especially at a $4 underdog. Forecast says Nasrat Haqparast is going to get this fight done by another unanimous decision. And next up, we have a fight that I feel pretty good about. Shane Young and Gabriel Miranda. Miranda's a 240 underdog here against Shane Young, who trains at City Kickboxing. And Shane Young, he's fought Alex Volkanovski, lost the decision there, but he also just lost the decision to Blake Builder, who, you know, he's a prospect, still in the come-up, but still has some holes in his game. Shane Young was super low output in that fight, and he didn't look very good. And that fight was also in Australia, and Shane was still sloppy, couldn't get any help from the judges. I don't think he's going to get help from the judges here if it goes 15 minutes, because Gabriel Miranda, he's going to take Shane Young down very easily here, I think. Miranda can get those takedowns against Benoit Saint Denis, man. He got a takedown against Saint Denis in the first round, and he looked pretty good. He survived. But then he obviously got knocked out because Benoit Saint Denis is an absolute beast, and he was my lock of the week last week. But a tough fight for Gabriel Miranda in his first fight. And his most previous loss before that was a 9-1 Russian. He's fighting pretty good competition. And his wins, 15 out of 16 by submission, 14 out of 16 in the first round. Like, this guy is a serious grappler. I expect him to find the back of Shane Young and strangle him here. I have no clue why Shane Young is the favorite here. He lost his last 3 fights. He's super sloppy. Last fight in Australia, he couldn't even get the job done. The judges didn't even help him out. Guy's pathetic. Gabriel Miranda's going to strangle him. Fuck it. Tinfoil hat's coming on. It came on last week for Benoit Saint Denis, and he got the job done. It's coming on for Gabriel Miranda. I'm going to risk the biscuit. He's going to make me go 3 in a row for lock of the week. I'm going to do another plus money underdog for everybody. Miranda is a dog that will absolutely fight for your money. I'm going to support the Brazilian in this fight 100%. I'm forecasting the round 1 submission for Gabriel Miranda. Let's get it, and let's make it fucking rain. And next up, we got another big underdog, Blood Diamond versus Charlie Radtke. And Radtke, he's a pretty good wrestler, has some power, but Blood Diamond, he has over 100 fights in kickboxing. Another guy training at City Kickboxing. He's in there with Adesanya. Adesanya says he's really good. I have 2 underdogs on the first 3 fights after last week calling all favorites. And I guarantee you in this fight, the underdog's not hitting. Blood Diamond, I don't think much of this guy, man. He proved to me against Jeremiah Wells that he can stop some takedowns, but once he gets taken down, it's game over because he doesn't know how to avoid submissions. He's going to get caught in a submission here likely against Charlie Radtke, who can get the fight to the ground, who's super powerful, has submissions on the record. He has 3 knockouts and 2 submissions, and his last win was by a submission in round 1 against a 7-1 opponent. Very good competition. He has a decision win against a 6-1 opponent. He won his last 4 fights, 3 out of 4 by finish. I really like the finish or submission for Charlie Radtke in this fight. Blood Diamond, man, like, fuck. He's 3-2. He's lucky to still be in the UFC. He's obviously on this card because it's in Australia. He's with the City Kickboxing boys, but he is strictly a striker. And other than that, he is garbage. Even on the feet, like, I don't even think he's that good. His striking accuracy is quite low. And he has wins over tomato cans. He knocked out a 2-4 opponent, 0-1 opponent by submission, and then a 6-4 opponent beat him by a decision. Like, man, they're the lowest level competition he could have found. He obviously beat those guys. He had to take a step up, lost in round 1 to Jeremiah Wells in his UFC debut. I don't think he's UFC caliber, and he's certainly not the guy Israel Adesanya makes him out to be. I got to go with the debut fighter and the big favorite here, Charlie Radtke, to get the job done here. I'm going to forecast by submission. And next up, we got a interesting fight between my Canadian John Makdessi coming in as an underdog against Jamie Mullarkey. And Mullarkey lost his last fight against a debut fighter, Muhammadjan Naimov, in the second round by knockout. He has 4 knockout losses, but not too bad. Alex Volkanovski knocked him out. Jalen Turner, pretty good guys. He went the distance with Brad Riddell and Fares Ziam, but he lost those fights by a decision. This is definitely a winnable fight for my Canadian John Makdessi. A few weeks ago, I might have taken the stab at the underdog here, my Canadian, but I'm very sharp on my picks right now. I'm going to do reverse psychology here. I'm going against the Canadian 100%, 110% going against the Canadian. Reverse psychology bet here. Jamie Mullarkey's definitely winning. He has a reach advantage, massive reach advantage here, and he's going to be 9 years younger. He's going to be a lot faster, a lot sharper, and if this fight goes the distance, I can definitely see the judges just giving this fight to Jamie Mullarkey here and not giving it to my Canadian. And next up, we got another fight that I expect the judges to be all over. Jack Jenkins and Chepe Mariscal. You know, I really like Chepe Mariscal. I like the plus money, and I didn't even have a pick on this fight until this morning. And this morning I woke up and said, you know what, I can't go against all these Australians. I got to go Jack Jenkins. The judges will give this fight to Jack Jenkins by a decision. He's not good enough to get the knockout, I don't think. He knocked out a guy that was 8-3 on the Contender Series with 3 knockout losses, and before that, it was a guy that was 4-5. Chepe has a fucking chin. We all just seen that against Trevor Peek. I don't expect him to get knocked out or even wobbled here, but his legs could get beat the fuck up. Jack Jenkins has phenomenal leg kicks. He's very technical, very good IQ. I think he's going to be the cleaner, faster fighter here as well. Likely gets this done by a decision. Judges are going to be super biased in Australia, and they're going to give it to him just like they did against Jamal Emmers. You see, that was a split decision. He was given that decision, and he's good enough to make this fight look close enough that he won the fight. And when it goes to the judges' scorecards, expect to hear Jack Jenkins' name get read. And next up, we're on to the prelim opener, and this fight ain't going the distance. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put a lot of money down, 100% on Carlos Ulberg against Woon Jung. Woon Jung lost his last 2 fights, and this is definitely a preferential treatment fight, a setup fight, just a layup for fucking Carlos Ulberg to get another round 1 KO. His last 3 fights were round 1 KOs. He's a machine right now. He has 6 knockouts, 2 decision wins, 5 in the very first round. Won his last 4 fights. The only guy to knock him out, though, was Kennedy Nzechukwu. And Woon Jung, that was his last win, Kennedy Nzechukwu, by knockout in round 1. It's just some MMA math, and it usually doesn't work out, and I don't expect it to here. Woon Jung, he had no answers for Devin Clark, who was fucking nowhere close to Carlos Ulberg, like I said. This is preferential treatment. This is definitely a setup fight for Carlos Ulberg, KO round 1. And don't forget to smash that like button and suplex the subscribe button, because once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to give away $500. We're super close. And I expect us to hit 500 after this week, because we are zooming right now, and we're going to be zooming on the main card. And this is probably a 30-second breakdown between Manel Kape and Felipe dos Santos, who was supposed to fight on the Dana White Contender Series. Manel Kape is a ranked flyweight fighter who won his last 3 fights, 2 of them by KO, was supposed to fight Kai Kara-France, who got a concussion and had to pull out. This is one-sided all day. Manel Kape's going to KO him. KO him. This guy is 7-0, about to face the toughest guy he's ever seen to date, and he's going to get smoked. He was fighting in the LFA. He has 4 to 5 finishes in round 1. His cardio is definitely a question mark, and Manel Kape is going to be pressure and power and get this job done with a knockout shot. I don't think there's much more to add than that, other than Felipe dos Santos trains at Shootbox Diego Lima, and he's super reckless and hittable, so he's going to walk right into those knockout shots. And next up, we got another fight that I'm looking to stay away from here. Tyson Pedro and Anton Turkalj. I probably butchered his last name. Sorry about that. Can't pronounce fighters' names. That's one of my weaknesses. But picking fights is not a weakness. That's good. That's what you're here for. So take the plus money in the Australian here. Simple as that. Just take the fucking Australian. It's a coin flip. I think he can win a decision fight. He's probably worked on his cardio a little bit here. and he has power. He has 100% finish rate, and I also believe one of his best attributes could be on the ground here. He has 5 submission wins and 4 knockouts, 100% finish rate. Anton Turkalj, this guy, he's fucking aggressive with those takedowns. He could potentially get caught in a bad situation here, rather if it's a counter shot when he's trying to go for a takedown, or if he happens to get submitted. I definitely see Pedro getting this fight done inside the distance in front of the home fans this time. I forecast he's going to come out here super hot in the first round after that embarrassing loss to Makdessi Bacchus at home last time. And like I said, he has a 100% finish rate. All of his fights have ended in round 1. So I'm definitely eyeing up that round 1 prop for Tyson Pedro. And this is another fight where I see some preferential treatment. I think this is lined up for the Australian to get the job done here in round 1 at home. A big turnaround fight for Tyson Pedro. Get that plus money. And next up, we got the first of 2 heavyweight fights, Justin Tafa and Austin Lane. These two had an accidental eye poke in round 1 last time. It was a no contest. But Justin Tafa has preferential treatment here, and he's probably going to get the job done by KO. I'm going to keep it the same as my first prediction. I said Austin Lane was, pretty low level. He has 3 knockout losses, all in round 1. And it's to an 8-5 Vernon Lewis, 6-8 Frank Tate. Fucking Frank Tate. And then 7-5 Greg Hardy. Oh my God, Greg Hardy. Come on, man. There's a reason why he's an underdog here. He has a fucking reach advantage and a height advantage. And that's not even going to matter. He's going to get smoked. Smoked. Justin Tafa KO. I know Austin Lane wasn't looking horrible. Wasn't looking horrible. He wasn't looking shit. Not as bad as I thought. But at some point, I expect Justin Tafa to get the knockout shot. He has 4 in the very first round, 2 of them in round 2. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes into round 2 a little bit. He finds that knockout shot. Don't load up on round 1. And probably don't even load up on Justin Tafa KO, because Austin Lane could come out here and surprise the hell out of me. And surprise a lot of people, because I'm sure everyone's on Justin Tafa KO this week. I'm just giving you as a fair warning. Don't load up on the round 1 KO. Let's just be a little bit safe. It's a heavyweight fight. They have fought some pretty low-level competition. Justin Tafa has wins over Henry Hunsucker and Parker Porter. Let's clap to that. And then Austin Lane has beat guys that were 6-4, 10-5, 5-6, 5-10. Like bottom of the barrel heavyweights. About to go to war here. Just take the Australian KO. Likely the play here. I don't want to lay too much juice on it though. And next up we got another Australian heavyweight, Tuivasa and Alexander Volkov. And this is where the shoey bet got invented from, Tuivasa and the shoeys. But he's a 287 underdog this morning against Alex Volkov. And Volkov, he's on the September Storm parlay. So if you're in the Discord, I have a September Storm parlay chat. And I also posted it on Instagram. So jump on Instagram, jump on Twitter, because I have a bunch of great content. And the September Storm parlay was posted for free. It's a tenfold. I might as well pull it up now too. First 5 legs hit last week, as you can see. And this week I have 5 again. I think they're going to win. I have Alex Volkov. I'm going against the Australian in this one. He has a big reach advantage, big height advantage, and he won his last 2 fights. He knocked out Alexander Romanov and Jairzinho Rozenstruik, both in round 1 in Vatic fashion. I think this could be in Vatic fashion again, man. He's hot. This is Volkov 2.0 for sure. Takedown accuracy, phenomenal. Striking accuracy, phenomenal. Tuivasa will need a Hail Mary knockout shot to win this fight. It's going to be plus money, and I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. I want to do a shoey. So if anybody in the comments wants me to do a shoey and wants to do a shoey bet, get in the comment section and tell me you're taking Tuivasa by KO. Joseph, let's do a shoey, buddy. And I'll do it. No hard feelings. Let's just do this for fun, since Lo's not here to do a shoey bet with me. I've been waiting to do a shoey bet with someone, so someone has to take Tuivasa. I'll take Volkov. I'm pretty high confidence on Volkov this week for the knockout shot. And it wouldn't even surprise me if he can get the submission. He has 3 submission wins, and Tuivasa's game isn't that great on the ground. Volkov's last loss was by submission, so I think he knows he has a weakness on the ground and he wants to work on it. Maybe he uses that in this fight. After showing us in his last 2 fights, he still has insane power. He could switch it up, get the submission, but most likely Alexander Volkov KO. I'm going to call the round 2 shot. Tuivasa is going to come out there hot. Volkov's going to have to be technical and smart in round 1, kind of pace himself out. And like I said, he's going to be the much better fighter with a 5-inch reach advantage as well. Pretty high confidence in Volkov this week. And next up, we got the highest confidence pick of the week, Israel Adesanya against Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland is definitely my favorite guy at the press conference. This fight is definitely going to be fun as fuck at the press conference. Fun as fuck while it lasts. A lot of people probably think this fight's going the distance. Sean Strickland usually goes the distance, wins by a decision, but in his last fight, he beat Abus Magomedov when a lot of people were sleeping on him. And he also got knocked out to Alex Pereira. So he's been getting knocked out, and he's got a knockout recently. I think he's getting knocked out here. Like, Israel Adesanya is on a different level, and he proved it in his last fight against Alex Pereira. I was sleeping on Izzy. I slept on Izzy the last 2 fights against Pereira, and now I regret it. So I'm riding the Izzy bandwagon 100%. He's going to style bend on Sean Strickland here. Take that knockout prop. I think it's going to hit, boys and girls. I really do. 100%, just like Cyril Gane last week. He's going to get a knockout shot. Adesanya just has incredible timing, and his footwork is too good. He's going to be in and out of range. I don't think Sean Strickland's going to land too much, honestly, on Israel Adesanya. This could be ended in round 1 or round 2. And this is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Sean Strickland. So if you see this fight going the distance, just think about it. He's going to be fighting for a championship fight here. He's going to go balls to the wall to get that belt. I expect him to put it all on the line here in this fight and get caught with a counter shot or a headshot from Israel Adesanya, who's going to prove that he's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. Don't go against Izzy. And if you guys agree with my picks or disagree with some of my picks, just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear some feedback. And jump in Discord as well. I want to see you guys become a forecaster and come make it rain with everybody. Last week we had a great week at UFC Paris. We went 10-1. And the only one we lost was Jocelyn Edwards. It was pretty well a clean sweep. Patreon members got paid. It's only $5 a month. Exclusive early access to all of our bets. We have a platinum picks and forecast forensic as well. So jump on board there. That's the best way to support me. It's only $5 a month. And at this point, and the way we're going, that's the best price in this industry. I'd like to see anyone doing it better for only $5 a month. I went 10-1 last week. Everybody got paid. Everyone. The week before that, I had 2 picks wrong. I'm not trying to rub it in anyone's face here, but I'm doing this for a reason. I'm giving out free picks here for a reason. So the least you can do is smash the like button. Suplex the subscribe button. Because I'm going to give away $500 of my own money. Once I hit those 500 subscribers, I'll have a giveaway bot set up in my Discord, and one forecaster will win $500. You guys are great. Thank you for watching. And you guys know who to come to for picks. Let's fucking get it.